Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Who Are You podcast. Welcome to episode 203 of the Who Are You podcast. It is wild to even sit here and say those numbers nowadays. If you are a first-time watcher or a first-time listener, make sure you guys go like, subscribe, and follow on all of our social media channels. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod from everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You guys know where to find us now. We've been doing this for long enough. Also, if you guys feel like you'd be a good fit for the show, we are always looking to have new people on the show, whether you're an artist, content creator, athlete, comedian, the mix of anything you feel like you'd be a good fit, hit us up in the DMs on the at Who Are You Pod social medias, or you can email us. It's going to be whoareyoupod@yahoo.com. But today, sitting down with a very, very special guest. Super excited for this conversation. Today, we are sitting down with Jefferson Streeter of Bold City Brochet. Welcome to the Who Are You podcast, my man.
Thank you for having me in.
Of course, man. And so Shannon, a little backstory here. Shannon told me that someone recognized her from the Who Are You and let me know about you. And I've actually been aware of you for a little bit as well because I saw you liking the post. And then she told me about what you do, what your art and everything. And I was like, Bold City? And she's like, yeah, you know him? I was like, yeah. I was like, he's been liking the posts and stuff lately. So it's cool to have someone who's, consumed our content and obviously is an artist here in town. So welcome to the show, man. I'm very excited to have you.
And it was interesting, you never want to be that guy that just walks up to somebody and was like, hey, I've seen your podcast. Can I be on it? And so I was just like, all right, man, just
play cool.
Let it be organic and just, have her at some point see your stuff or, you know what I mean? 'Cause
yeah.
I don't know. It's always like an odd thing. One of the best things that I've seen, I was on this digital platform. It's called Voyage.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
We've been written up by them.
So what Voyage does, like at the end of their interview, they're like, hey, you can, call for somebody else to be featured. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, what a great thing to do.
It's awesome.
You have somebody on and then they refer you to someone else. So you're not always just trying to find everybody or, the people that do want to be on are kind of like hesitant to do it. So It's good that you have an open call too for people to come on.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, through everything that we do, we always ask people at the end, like after we get done doing the interview, we always hand stuff out and say, hey, if you know someone, recommend them to us because we love when people want to come on the show. It doesn't mean we just let everybody come on, but, everybody deserves a fair chance. If you let us know what you're about, what you're interested in, or, you're artist, comedian, athlete, whatever it is, it makes it easier for me rather than someone hits me up and I go look at their Instagram and it's them selling pounds of drugs or whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, bud, I'm not having you on the show and I'm not giving you my address because of that. But no, it's just a fun thing, man. And you brought up the Voyage. That's actually our article right there, funny enough, right next to Shannon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man. Voyage is awesome. They helped bring a lot of light to the show as well over the years. So shout out to them. But before we get too far into the conversation, please let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, where they can find your art, all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, so I pretty much just go straight off of Instagram. So at Bold City Brochet. I remember just like starting it, and I started as Bold City Crochet, and then just this Reddit forum. I posted on a Reddit forum that's just for crochet.
Oh, nice.
And somebody was like, hey, do you know that there's a Brochet where it's just men that crochet? And I go,
the bros, yeah.
And I go, I like it, and I'm going to steal it.
I like it. I like it, man. So, I mean, really just to kind of get into it, obviously, we've seen your art, and then obviously a lot of the stuff you've done is really cool, man. I literally was like stalking your Instagram, looking over everything. One thing I wanted to start off with, you met Dave Portnoy?
Yeah, I did. So that was at what was it called? It was the Brawl, something, whatever they had where the people sign up and fight each other.
Oh, you're talking about Rough and Rowdy.
Rough and Rowdy.
Yes.
That's what it was.
I had a buddy fight in one of their fights.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you have?
Cade Eubanks. This was back in 2018, 2017-ish. Yeah. It was like right before the pandemic happened. I remember that.
So this was the Florida-Georgia one.
Oh, that's sick.
And I had a buddy fighting in it too, Michael Gray. And so my brother-in-law is a huge, Barstool fan. And he was like, hey, we're getting ringside tickets. We're all going to go out. We're going to, I think it was the day before maybe of Florida, Georgia. So I was like, I don't really know much about Barstool, but, I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
And ended up finding out that, my friend was fighting in it too. I was like, I think that's the thing. I mean, how many fight events do they have on the same day?
Exactly.
So we went out there and had ringside tickets. We almost got into a fight, which was terrible. Some kid just comes over, tries to sit in one of my, my brother's seat, like while he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. This is the worst place to do something because everybody is like
ready to go.
hurt each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it was fun. So the event ended. My buddy ended up getting disqualified, which was terrible.
Oh.
It was early stoppage, whatever. And so we're leaving out of there, and Big Cat is like making his rounds. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this guy seems important. And then Dave Portnoy kind of comes around the side, and everybody's trying to get his picture. So I was like, maybe I should just try to get a picture with this guy. I'm not really, you know what I mean? I kind of know of him. Mm-hmm. So I just leaned in, got a picture with him.
That's sick.
And just told him, I was like, hey, man, like what you do. I really don't know.
No, you're good. Like Shannon listens to me. I'm a huge Barstool fan. Yeah. I probably consume 99% of their content, including like Pardon My Take, which is Big Cat's big podcast. Mm-hmm. Dave Portnoy, I've always loved his pizza reviews and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So like I've always been a big fan of them from back in the day to now. It's crazy that they're a huge media company now.
Oh, they're insane, and it was wild, like taking that picture and then finding out
who he was.
Yeah, and then the progression, and everyone's like, dude, no way.
Yeah.
And I go, I mean, it's just what I do. I just photos with famous people.
That just is what it is, man.
Yeah, but I ended up sending it to like a group text because my brother was like, you have to send that to Daniel like right now.
Yeah.
He's going to freak out.
It's a cool thing.
Hey, who is this guy? Everybody was trying to get a picture. Is this guy important?
Yeah, man. Like his backstory, he literally sold his company for, I think, a couple $100 million, bought it back for $1.
Yeah.
And then now he's kind of in the background. He still is in there a little bit, but now he has his house in Nantucket and all other places.
He got real bougie real quick.
Oh yeah, man. It's crazy how you go from making it from the streets to being real rich, man.
Yeah, because I remember watching a little bit of his backstory, and he was like delivering that pamphlet, like that newsletter, like from door to door, bar to bar, you know what I mean? I was like, man, what a hustle.
Oh no, I believe it. And a lot of their podcasts, like me and Shannon and my best friend Nolan, we also run a sports podcast now as well.
Yeah,
and
D-Gen.
Yeah, D-Gen Bets. Yeah, man, that one was kind of based off the Barstool style, where you could kind of talk whatever you want. You don't have to be buttoned up. You don't have to be wearing the whole like suit and tie like ESPN or anything. Yeah. And it just kind of made it fun, man, because I think they've really kind of broken the mold of how to do sports media compared to, like I was saying, the ESPNs, the not cursing, not telling how you really feel kind of thing. I think it's fun that they're doing that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Is like, I don't know, I have like a weird history with gambling.
Okay.
Yeah, so like growing up in upstate New York, obviously like gambling's huge. Like we just gambled on everything. And I was filling out bookie slips when I was in, I don't know, 4th grade, like helping my neighbor fill them out. Yep. He would always ask me, he's like, well, what's the weather report? Like, who's injured, whatever. And this is back when you had to get like newspaper, or maybe a little, you know what I mean?
You had to read, you had to find the info. Right? Yeah.
So it was like the good handicappers back in the day had an edge because, you know, like Jimmy the Greek, he had people delivering newspapers from different cities to him.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how you caught an edge. But it's so hard now, you know, like trying to get into that space where you have a statistical edge. You know what I mean? It's hard to find it. It's so coin flip now. It's just different.
Yeah.
And just because everybody's doing it.
It's a huge thing now.
Statistic models and all this other stuff. So like getting that feel on stuff. And I remember, you know, and this is why I said it's like kind of problematic. I remember the first bet that I made, it was in the Super Bowl, and I bet a kid's lunch money. And I remember being like proud that he couldn't eat that day, you know? So it was just like very toxic. But I absolutely loved it. Like I was playing online poker before, you know, like had a friend's credit card, playing online poker before that, like on full tilt, multi-tabling, like, you know, just I stayed at the casinos immediately, like when I turned 18 up in upstate New York. Like it was just, yeah, it was an interesting, I don't know, childhood, like growing up like that, where everything was a bet. Didn't matter what you were doing, you know, like hustling in pool but taking that side of things, like you were able to manipulate the bet spreads. Yeah. So like you tell a kid in elementary school, like, oh no, you know, the Cowboys are -7, even though it's 3 and a hook,
because they can't check it. They don't have apps or anything. Exactly.
Like no, they're still going to want to take it. So yeah.
No, betting has turned into a very weird thing because one, obviously we have the sports betting show, so we do bet. I limit myself a lot. Just one, you know, like we have our lives, we're buying a house, doing all this other stuff. So I'm not one of those people who's going to go sweat $5,000 and go put it on just a single game. And especially in today's world, man, I think there is some fixed stuff to this day. I think there's things, especially in like, careful now, especially in like baseball, basketball, and things where assists can be changed. You know, they redo some parts of it that like it, you know, maybe it was yardage for football after the game. Maybe they didn't gain that extra yard that you needed to hit. And it's just weird stuff is in how big it's gotten now because the bank always wins. We know that. It's just like, as you said, going to the casino, right? You may hit them for $5,000, $10,000, maybe a couple $100s, right? They didn't feel that. It's when you really start digging into their pockets, you know, you win a mill. They're like, we'll come watch it. Or it's like
your ID is expired.
Exactly. Or they do like the movie Casino where they come up beside you, hit you with a cattle prod real quick, pull you in the back room because they caught you cheating. It's really like that.
That was by far my favorite movie growing up too.
It's a good movie, man.
Yeah.
So you brought up growing up in upstate New York. So how long did you live there until you came down here to Florida?
So I moved here when I was 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was like, you know, I don't know. It was such a weird age to move, you know, because you have your childhood friends and then you're going into like about to be entering high school.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh man. And it was odd too because it was such a geographical change and a culture change.
Yeah.
So I remember my dad telling me before, you know, like when we're coming down here, he's like, you're going to have to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir. And I thought he was kidding. I thought it was just some like Andy Griffith, like joke.
Yeah.
And so like first day of school, like immediately get in trouble. And, you know, and I'm going to Providence. So it's like,
proper.
There's no way you're not getting in trouble. So yeah.
I learned real quick.
I went to a different school. I went to Sandwood here in town, and they don't care over there. But I was also brought up that way as well. It was yes, ma'am, no, sir, all that. Just the southern. It's just the southern way. And going up to Jersey or going up to New York, you can tell it's different. People are like, will look at you weird, or they can hear it in your voice if you sound a little bit. I wouldn't even say country, but it's just different, right?
Yeah.
Just there's different dialects, just different accents anywhere you go.
Yeah, and it's wild. Like I moved back up there at 19 to start working for my dad's company. So my dad and my grandfather were Arbys franchisees.
Really?
Yeah. So we had,
I was going to ask about that.
That's sick. Okay.
So we had we were the fifth longest franchisee, like the fifth franchisees in there.
Really?
So when I met the only living founder of Arbys, Leroy. So how Arbys started, you have the Raffle Brothers. That's where it comes from, Raffle Brothers, and they just phonetically expanded it out. So Raffle Brothers, Arbys.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's roast beef. I don't know why. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So, moving back there at 19, it was like, all right, now I'm going to like take what I learned here and, you know, say it there. So like anytime I was taking somebody's order or whatever, I'm like, yes, ma'am. And they're like, do not call me that. I'm like, oh,
my bad.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was being nice, but now I'm not being nice, but now I'm back up here and everything's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick, man. Arby's and like, you know, you hear about franchising, right? Because like I think of other companies like Chick-fil-A, right? Yeah. You can get into it.
My
obviously,
cousin's an owner operator of Chick-fil-A.
Really? Because I know that's a very stringent process. Because it's not just like you apply and they just give you a store. You have to have some backing behind you. Also, they check who you are as a person. Yeah,
the way that he did it, they had a program where you took like 2 years and you opened up Chick-fil-A's. So any new store that popped up, so you're basically just living out of a hotel and, you know, on a plane. But it's a great way to learn how to do stuff. I mean, the most stressful part of a restaurant is opening up a restaurant. You have like 30 employees, you don't know half of them, and then you got to cut that staff at some point, you know what I mean, to get down to your real numbers. So it's like the perfect way to get somebody acquainted with the business.
No, it definitely is. And I worked in restaurants for years. Funny enough, that's how me and her met, was through working at Five Guys Burgers and Fries. I was
the most expensive burger place in the entire world now.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
It's so good, though.
It is. It is very good. And at that time, they always paid $1 above minimum wage. So for a kid who's 16, right, you know, I think at the time I was making $8 an hour, you know, back in, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was just a good place to work. I also made it all the way to manager at 18 years old. So
Nice.
they literally, the day I turned 18, they even helped give me a key to a store, and I started working and doing that.
Yeah.
And I worked at the store over there off Beach and Hodges down the street over there, and then ended up, me and the manager had a little thing, and then I moved stores and went over to her store, and that's how we met, and I was her boss.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, that's how my parents met. We're at Arbys.
Well, funny enough, me and her worked at 3 or 4 different restaurants together.
Yeah.
So we've kind of just learned that we worked together pretty well.
Yeah,
So
we
was
worked
this like
together.
post like meeting each other, then you guys worked at like 3 more?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
met at the first one, and
I was about
then
to say that would have been really wild.
That'd be
You guys got to the 4th one.
that
You're
would
like,
be
you know what?
crazy.
it's time.
It's time.
Let's just-
That's a sign.
Let's just,
Where all did we work together? 5 Guys. We worked
Applebee's.
Applebee's, Chicken Salad Chick. Where else? I just feel like there's one more. But this is
Well,
also
we both worked at the same place, just different locations.
Pyology.
Yeah.
We were just restaurant hoppers at the time while we were in college, getting all that stuff figured out until we finished up things. Like, she graduated, obviously works at Morgan & Morgan, is doing her thing, and then I work in the trades. So
nice.
I was originally going to school to try to work with special needs children, trying to be a nurse, and then COVID happened, life happened, and had to figure out something else, and kind of fell into the trades, and it's treated me well so far.
I did that for a little bit. I worked at a school called Cornerstone, and I did the special assistance program.
Nice.
So I was like kind of like a gym teacher for them, but it was all kids with special needs. It's a very fulfilling, spot. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. But if you have a heart to do it, I mean.
No, that's the thing, man. For me, growing up, like, kids, especially like where I went to school and stuff, they weren't treated the best, unfortunately, just because of ignorant people who just not understanding and stuff. But for me, it's always just been one of those things. It's just they're people as well. They may think a little differently than you, but there's a lot of them I've met who are 10 times as intelligent as a lot of people I know, even me. I'll sit there and they're teaching me something, and or some of them are really into art. It depends on like what their little niche is that they get interested in. They lock in. Some of it's trains. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is too, man. It's just like the way that the school system is set up.
Yeah,
it's so terrible, and it's like you could see how they designed it, and you're like, all right, I get it. You just want to produce these factory workers, and you tell a little boy to sit in the seat for 8 hours. It's just not going to happen.
No, I was one of those people. Like,
I just, that gets to the point where you just medicate everybody, and like nobody knows if they're good at drawing. It's like I'm the kids director at my church.
Oh, nice.
Church, and it's great. Like, I took a picture of this little girl's drawing last night, and I was showing it to everybody at work today. I'm like, this girl has so much talent, and it's like. They can, I don't know, there's different ways of teaching things. Like, we have curriculum, and it tells you, read this is the game you're playing, this is the activity or whatever. And on some of them, I'm like, no, they're not. The whole point of this is for them to get this lesson. Mm-hmm. If you have kids in there that need to draw it out or need to talk it out or need to do whatever, like, that's the way it needs to be. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why, like, homeschooling and everything else is getting so popular. I had just such a tough time in school. I remember I don't know if you guys are probably too young for Hooked on Phonics.
I don't think I know that one.
Just learning how to read and just everything. And it was just like I never felt I had enough time. Like, I did before school tutoring, after school tutoring. I did the Sylvan Learning Center. I did everything. And I still went to summer school 4 times.
I get you.
And it was so rough. And then you get through that. And then there's colleges that will pick you up, even though you shouldn't go to college. You should go to trade school, And so the advisor at my high school is telling me to go to college. I'm like,
why?
I'm like, I just failed.
Yeah.
Like, 4
It's
out of 5 years. Like, what are we talking about here?
Goes back to that creating the factory workers. Like, everyone needs to do the same thing.
It's like going here, and luckily, my parents were able to pay for college. I only stayed there a couple of years, but it's wild. It's like, hey, take out this credit card. We'll have the credit card people on campus. You can take it out. It's like they want you in there in debt, and then, hey, go find a job to try to, get yourself out of it.
That was something I got lucky on, man. I had similar to what you were saying with like the before school tutoring, after school tutoring. Whenever I was growing up, I had a really bad
dyslexia.
Thank you. Dyslexia was what it was. Yeah. And like, I was one of those kids that wasn't going to sit still. I was a talker, always shooting the breeze with someone.
You're
and
a young boy.
Yeah, it's just being a kid. You're being a student. And I remember my mom still talks about this to this day. A teacher like told my mom that I'll never graduate, I'll never be anything. And which is crazy to tell a parent. Exactly. Exactly. Like, this is also a different time. This is early 2000s. Doesn't mean it's right in any way, but this is back then. And at the end of the day, I passed high school with flying colors. I was very lucky. I was taking college classes before I even got into college on that. And even though I may have not gone the full way of getting my bachelor's or, master's or anything like that, you still would just find a way to do something. There's so much more than just the general education. Trades, I praise it now. I was one of those guys where I thought you should go to college and go get that, and that's going to be like your dream job you find.
Right, because they sell you on that lie.
Yeah, and now, in today's generation right now, there's people who get fresh out of college who have a master's degree and are not able to find a job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they oversold their hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the people that were lying to them, saying everybody needs to get a degree and all these other things, it's crazy. And, like my dad would always say, like we had over 20 restaurants and, he didn't go to college. And I think he went to Virginia Tech for like a semester or a year.
Nothing wrong with it.
And, but it's interesting, he would always say, he's like, the C students are going to work, or the A students are going to work for the C students. And I never really understood that. But it was a different time because they had shop class. They had, where you could do carpentry and work on cars and, like all these other things. True. And then that generation took it out of school, and then just were like, hey, y'all figure it out. And then we're going to demonize trades. And then when we need you guys, we're going to start freaking out. And we're like, we don't have plumbers because this generation's so lazy. And it's like, no, like you guys took out all those opportunities for kids. And
trades are on the way up right now, man. Yeah. It's crazy to see. Like, I'm 27 and I got guys who are coming in who are 20, 21, and I wish I would have started as early as they did because I would be so much farther than where I am now when it comes to the career wise. Yeah. But it's one of those things, man. It's learning a skill. They can't take a skill away from you. You may not have that piece of paper that says you're a masterate or a doctorate in this, but your AC breaks down, your car breaks down, you have a pipe that bursts under your house. Yeah. Are you going to get under your house and do that? Some people will. I will give them that. There are the DIYers out there who are smart enough or can find the right YouTube video to do it. But I feel like everybody should have some of those skills, even if it's not full blown ripping out an AC unit or completely repiping your house, but how to change a faucet, how to change, change what else in your, like a toilet, right? Something simple. Shannon can do it. Not saying that's like that girl can't do it, but like someone who has no experience in it, you could literally do it yourself in 30 minutes. But some people are too scared for it. That's where the money comes into play. Right. Because you're really paying for convenience. And in today's world, a lot of people are like, why are things so expensive? You're paying for the convenience of us to come out here, take our time out of our day to spend however many hours on your problem and fix it with our tools, everything else that we have on our van that you don't currently have. And that's something I have to explain to people on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's good to, like, as much as you want to, I don't know, rewrite history, it's like you have the opportunity to tell younger people, it's like, hey, man, stay in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to be the mentor on the other side, which is good because, you don't really know how good you have it until you see it.
Yeah, I look back at past jobs where I am not an office guy and nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I know what you guys do and everything. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's my first office job.
It's just not my vibe. I'm a person who likes to get out, move around, like vibe and shake and talk to other people. Like I worked a sales job where I was like a car wrapping business, and I was losing my mind behind the desk because I was having to cold call people. And God, man, that is hell. It's just like you're literally calling people like, hey, you want to pay me money? They're like, no, okay. You keep on, and your boss is looking at you like, well, try to say it like this. It's not going to do nothing. They're calling you if they want to pay for something. It's
like, trust the process. Just read it.
Well, and that type of work is so specific. Like, how many people, unless they have the money, like, people aren't just being offered a car wrap, and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. Let's go for it.
Yeah. I want to drop 10 grand today. What are you doing?
The problem is, like, out of that 1,000 calls you make, it ends up being profit. You know what I mean? But it's just it's brutal.
It is.
Yeah.
So to get into some more stuff about you, obviously, so you moved down here. You said you were 13, 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just turned 13.
So what made you guys, I asked this to people who are not from Jacksonville, what made you guys choose Jacksonville of all places?
I can't even answer that either. So,
Don't know.
our softball team and our baseball team up in New York would come down here to play other schools.
Oh, okay.
But when we initially did it, it was just a Florida trip. So we would play like Melbourne and like different places like that.
Yeah.
We were in like Cocoa Beach or whatever. So
nice.
it was like it was like a vacation for, the seniors and juniors or whatever. And then they got to play like out of state people.
That's pretty
So it
cool.
was, like perfect. And so the last year that we did it, we came to Jacksonville. And then my dad was like, we're moving here. And I was like, okay, like I want to leave Rochester too.
Yeah.
At least you got to visit before you moved.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was cool. I think they played Providence, UC. I can't remember the other ones that they played, but it was pretty neat. Like coming down. I mean, if you would have stuck me anywhere in Florida, we would have been the happiest kids alive.
I get you.
Yeah.
What position in baseball did you play?
Ready to be out there. So I never played in that trip, but I played JV. I played pitcher, third base, first base.
That makes sense because you're a tall guy yourself as well. Say usually it's
If
one
you
of
have a
those.
good arm, they'll just put you at third. Like if you can just rifle somebody down at the hot corner. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the one sport I never got into playing was baseball. I always thought it was fun. My dad played baseball. My grandfather played baseball. It was just the one sport I never got into because I played football for a while. I used to be a little bit of a heavier guy. I was like 240 pounds, and I was also 6'4" my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So played football, played basketball, all that stuff. And then I just got to the point where I wasn't going to go to college for it. I'm athletic, but I'm not a athlete. That was the problem. When you can't jump over a piece of paper, it kind of kills your dreams in basketball, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it was interesting, like moving down here. It was so hot that I was like, I'm not going to play it. Go outside and do this?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's no way I can do it. So I ended up just not playing sports at all, like in high school when I came down here. Yeah. But still, you know what I mean? Like we would play like pickup games at UNF like, when we had older friends that went to college and stuff like that. So we still like stayed active. It was just like,
I remember when I moved down here, it was my senior year.
If you want to, you can move that microphone closer to you. Yeah, you're good. You're not going to break anything.
went out for a second.
Nah, you're good, buddy.
And I was in like gym class or something, and the women's basketball coach like came over to me and was like, "Hey, you played basketball in Ohio, didn't you?" And I'm like, "How do you know me? Like, what?" So he was like, "Yeah, I want you to try out." And I was like, "Okay, fine." Tryouts, like the conditioning and everything was outside, and I remember thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna die in this.
yes, shoot me.
It was horrible because it was like right at the end of summer, type.
Yeah.
So it was definitely bad.
It's brutal.
Welcome to my hell growing up here in Florida.
Yeah,
Our
it took
coaches
forever. Like, I mean, I skated a little bit when I got here, and I remember just being out at like Kona, and you're just like, dude, can we go back in the clubhouse for like 3 hours while I take a nap and drink 9 gallons of water?
It's funny that you bring up Kona, by the way. I got a good story for you.
Yeah.
So I went to Kona one time, and I will never return.
Oh, no.
So do you
Just
remember?
got into some controversy.
Yeah. Do you remember the days of like the penny boards, the nickel boards, and everything? So I was never like a trick skater or anything like that. I would just kind of zoom around with my buddies. Some of them were more into just the normal decks. And I went down the main snake. I'm talking about the one that drops into the pool.
Oh, no.
So I was going down it. I did fine on the main flat ground, and then when it dips in, my back foot slipped off the tail, and I split. I ripped both of my quads the first 5 minutes being there.
Oh, no.
And that's when I learned.
Especially that old snake run, too, J run, and kids would like throw rocks and stuff
Yes.
at the bottom of that.
Yes.
And you would just catch one and just
Eat it. Yeah. Skateboarding was a fun time of my life. That was more of just a mode of transportation for me after a while.
Yeah.
But skating is still one of those crazy things that it's still growing. It's still stuff going on. Tony Hawk is still out there, going out there on vert ramps and going out there.
Just some great people here too. Like I went to high school with Jamal Campbell, and he was fantastic. At
Really?
skating.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. So like that's who I started skating with, and just so many legends. And like I met Mike Peterson, obviously from the bar scene when he was working at Ritz. So I met him and Pete, and that's how I like found out about the block and everything else. So it was great. Like I remember like Peterson, I showed up. He's like, "Hey man, like," he's like, "You know a lot about skating," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Why don't you just like come out with us?" Like I hadn't skated in forever.
Yeah.
And this is when Sunshine Park had opened up at
Okay,
Jack's
yeah,
Beach.
yeah.
And he's like, "Just come out." You know what I mean? Like have a good time or whatever. So I show up to the place. I have a board, no trucks, nothing. And he's like, all right, I got you. He's like, I told you I would get you set up. So he just took the trucks off of his board, put it on mine. And he's like, all right, let's go skate.
That's pretty cool, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy that
just a
you didn't
legend.
play any sports. Like, there are no indoor sports or anything. Because I'm thinking now, like, where we work, we obviously have the YMCA games that we participate in.
I'm just an athletic cat.
Yeah, because you were doing the volleyball, right?
Yeah.
And that's over now?
Yeah, that's over. So they did that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. But between like Bible study and church, I wasn't able to do Tuesday and Wednesday. So I showed up on Monday, went to the wrong one, Williams and Winston. I don't know, you just hit it. And I was like, oh, that's the one close to work. I'll just go to that one. Show up there, and it's like, the lady's like, you're not here. I'm like, I am here.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're at the other one in San Jose.
Oh.
Like,
No.
just like run in my car and get over there. But yeah, it's fun. I'm so happy that like you work at a company, you know what I mean, that does something like that.
So cool.
Because they got to pay, like, it's a lot of money.
What are these games, by the way? You've talked to me a little bit about it, but for the audience to know and everything.
Yeah, so
Kinda
the
like the
YMCA
Olympics.
games does, let's see, basketball, volleyball, bowling. They have like a scavenger hunt, cornhole,
They do flag football at the very end.
flag football, softball.
Is there like a tug of war or something?
No.
That's pretty cool. They have all these sports, though.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Soccer.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah.
So it sounds like all the major sports, yeah.
Well, I think
they-
it goes all the way till August.
Yeah. So it's like every week you have something new. So like I'll tell people too, you know, I was training somebody a couple weeks ago and I was like, hey, do you know about are you doing the YMCA games? And he's like, no. And I was like, we're getting you signed up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's a great way to, you know, meet everybody.
Yeah.
And he was like, thank you so much. You know what I mean? Because you get to meet other people in the office. Like, it's such a big office, and you're just popping in there. You don't know anybody. And you're just like, oh, this is brutal. And I'm just going to sit in my cubicle for 8 hours and then maybe say hi to somebody or ask somebody about the weather on Tuesday. You know, you're like, yeah.
Well, she'll bring up names, obviously, like who she works with. She's brought you up multiple times and stuff. And it's nice to finally put a face to the name, right? Because she'll say this person. I'm like, is it this? And she's like, no, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this person. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's Brochet.
Yeah, just different like characteristics of people, and you know, obviously working in the office setting with, especially with who you guys work for. It's such a big company. There's thousands, I'm sure, if not millions, of employees by now.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys have a cool little group of everybody, and obviously some old coworkers from the last place you worked at work there now, as well as Noonie Roberts and all that kind of stuff as well.
I'm super thankful that I have people that I knew at the firm when I got there.
Yeah.
And then also like my first week, you came and said hi. So I got to meet new people like that as well. And then like every day we have lunch with like our group of 7 or whatever, typically on one of the floors. You always stay on 12. But
Yeah.
It's still nice to have that,
Did you
It is
though.
nice.
recently? Did I get mixed out of the...
No, so they we went to 11 today because
11's a
Rhett
lot.
picked up
It's wild.
Chipotle and brought it to me, so we were already on 11.
11's crazy.
Yeah, we need to come back up to 12, but 12's always so hot.
Oh, I feel like it's so cold.
Well,
Yeah, it
either
was
way,
So, like, when I first started working there, I knew one of the attorneys there, and then I knew the litigation assistant for one of the partners there.
Oh,
So
nice.
they were dating. They just got married. And so I kind of, like, had an idea of going in there. But I was a runner, which was great because, you know, one, everybody has to be nice to me or I'm not going to deliver their mail or go on runs for them to pick up their, you know,
That's right.
medical like records and whatever, or help them like, you know, bring court stuff to, you know, Jacksonville or Orlando or whatever. So it was great because I got to meet everybody, every single attorney, every single employee for the most part, you know, that needed assistance. But yeah.
And you seem like you're pretty extroverted as a person, right? She is not. Once she meets you and gets to know you, then she gets extroverted. Yeah.
you got lucky because you met me with Michelle and everyone
You're gonna
around,
lie
I
on
think.
episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, right.
I'm not a liar. I said this. I was episode number 1, and I said episode number 1.
And she's gotten better with it because we'll go to like social events or podcasting events to go meet people. people, and we'll meet someone, and then I just dart off and go talk to someone else, and then she's like, oh, she's gotten used to it by now.
I feel like as men, we're terrible at doing that.
Yeah.
Or someone walks up to me and catches my attention, like, "Hey, Connor." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, dude? How you doing?" And then just try to shake hands with everybody. Like, that's me. I'm not. I don't meet a stranger. I'm always going around saying hi to everybody.
Yeah, you just get wound up and you just go.
Yeah, say for me, I don't get drained by social events. Like that kind of more gets me excited. Like today, I was looking forward to this all day.
Me too.
So I was like, "Bet I'm getting off work. Let's get this going. Have my notes ready for you and everything."
Yeah. I remember I had a girlfriend that told me that one time at a bar, and she's like, "You don't pay enough attention to me." And I remember like hearing that, and I'm like, at the time, I was like, we're not going to talk ever again. Mm-hmm. But like thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, you're kind of right. Like you go out to a bar and then like this person comes up to you and then you're just like, I don't know where she went. And then you're like, oh, come up. And then she's like, I don't know them. And then you just kind of just work a room.
She got used to it because I have a group of friends I've known here for like 20 years, and like we're all like good friends. We hang out every weekend, go golfing together, all that stuff. So she was brought in very early. We've been together for almost 10 years now, so everybody's been around each other. Everybody has girlfriends or soon to be wives and all that stuff. So we have our little niche group where she can hang out with the guys, or if the girls are there, like she can hang out with all of them. So it's the perfect dynamic of everything. So
what's interesting is like we were talking about that Casino, like the movie Casino, and it's weird. So it's Robert De Niro knows who Ginger is, like knows her past, like knows who she is, knows he's probably going to get heartbroken by this girl, but loves the idea of having somebody that's able to work a room. Like she walks in and she's putting smiles on people's faces, slipping people 20s, like the valets. She knows how to take care of people. So it's like that odd thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really weird. And I'm like, am I Ginger? I'm like, am I
knows how to do it. Yeah.
Well, that's actually another reason why I added her to the show just in general, is because like we would sit down and I would do an interview and then she would ask questions at the end of like, why didn't you ask this? I'm like, that's a really good fucking point. Yeah. You should come on here and talk. And she finally got more comfortable being on the camera and like being that, because she helps this show just as much as I do. Like I said, all this stuff's 50-50 on everything.
Yeah, I truly believe it's like we're savages. And it's like we're half what we could be.
Oh, yeah.
Women.
Behind every strong man is a stronger woman.
Yeah, and it's like growing up with four sisters was great, you know, because they kind of give you a peek into that side. And as much as, you know, that craziness happens, it's like they just ground you so much and just show you it's like, hey, stop being crazy for a minute. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
no.
You can't fight everybody, and you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you just said, just relax.
No, I bounce stuff off her all the time. Like if I'm in a situation or family members, we're getting into fights or like yelling at each other, whatever it is, like with other people, I'll bring her to I'm like, am I crazy for this feeling? Or like, do I have some kind of ground, or do you feel like I'm just being wild, just need to chill out? And, you know, she can help out with that, vice versa as well. But it's just, it takes a lot, man. You know, like for me, like from us growing up and like getting into our first apartment, we were freaking dirt poor. We're not rich in any way, shape, or form, but, you know, getting to the point now where we are now, it's taken a lot of work between both me and her, just being able to work together, whether it's finding different jobs, or maybe she's taking the month off of a job to find another one, and then I'm working, or vice versa. We've done that multiple times, but at the end of the day, man, it's partnership.
And that's what, you know, success is. Like in my kitchen, I had a friend make me and this is something like I say all the time, it's like, how do you measure success? So she took like old tailor's tape and wrote out success on it, and then put it on like a leather backing, and then she put, how do you measure success? But like that's it. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Having that partner, having that person in life that's able to kind of guide you through. And it's like money comes and goes.
Oh, 100%.
Like, all these things, you know what I mean? It's just so, like, it's a lot of this stuff isn't tangible.
Yeah.
It's like we woke up today, we got in a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, I always think of what are the odds of being born in America?
Oh, 100%.
You know, like the amount of people in this world, billions of people are living under the poverty line. And you're like, I got in my car today and got to work, and then came back and slept in a bed. Like, I'm doing all right.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, so anything I can build off of that and help other people out or whatever, you know, it's wild. And I've done a lot of charity work probably for like the last, probably close to 15 years. But the most excited I get now is doing the homeless outreach that we do every second Saturday with Save to Serve. And it's like, man, just get out there and humble yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like all this other stuff just doesn't really matter that much.
It's nothing, man, because that's like
it's relationships.
Exactly. That's what you take with you. And at the end of the day, when you're buried, they're not going to talk about the amount of money you made. They're going to talk about how you made them feel.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And like
hearses don't have U-Hauls.
Exactly. I talk about it frequently because like for me, I'm one of those people where I get freaked out by how fast time goes by. Mm-hmm. Like it seems as we get older, right? Yeah. You know, we're already in the 4th month of the year right now. And I feel like it just started and we're already, a third of the way through. It's pretty wild. And I had to take a step back myself as well. Shannon knows this is like, I'm very much what's next? Right. Like, you know, you achieve something, you got something. All right. I'm not big on celebrating that and then just be like, that's like takes me through. I'm always more on like, all right, let's go here. What's next? And then she'll have to pull me aside and be like, hey, enjoy this. You worked your ass off for this. Why aren't you like more excited kind of thing? And like thing that's really kind of made me take pause is like I was talking to her about this week. It's like, who would have thought me and you would be married, had a house, two little weird teenagers that would just happen to meet each other who both came from messed up backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. Like I compared to me and her to the broken toys from the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, when the island of broken toys just happened to meet and the pieces that she had fit the pieces I needed and vice versa on that. Right. And it's a lot, man. Going through life, I talk about a lot. It's a weird existence, right? Because out of all the, you know, things that were happening, you were the one who was born. And there's no rhyme or reason. You just happen to be the fastest person or fastest swimmer that day. And I feel like that's where a lot of people get lost in it. Like they don't think their lives matter. It's like there was a billion other people who could have been born, but you were born. Why not go for it, man? And take those chances. Try these things. If you fail, it's okay. Yeah. Just get back up. Yeah, that's the hardest thing.
That's so good because you're worth so much more than you think. Mm-hmm. You know, and I've battled depression and suicide and everything. You know, and it's like, you know, that's why I love just reading the Bible every single day and, you know, knowing that the God of the universe knows my name. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, you know, every other religion, it's like, you got to do this and, you know, all these other things. And it's like, man, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, it's like your life matters. You can change the things around you. It's like this whole, you know, just do you. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, you keep on telling men that, like, we're going to have problems.
Yes.
We're going to have problems. I'm like, God had to come down from heaven to literally die on a cross because you do what you do. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. It's so crazy.
So to talk about like a little bit more of your journey with religion and just for full honesty and transparency here, I'm not the most religious person myself and I don't find anything wrong with it at all.
Everybody's not. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. No, but like the main thing is just so you're aware, like I've kind of gone back and forth on it my whole life, right?
Who hasn't?
Exactly. Like with my family, I grew up, my mom's a deacon of a church and does this. And when it was kind of like, you're going to believe this and you're just going to. And as I've gotten older, when I was younger there, I pushed really hard back on it. Like, don't believe it. Don't think anything is real about that. Yeah. And as I've gotten older, I've softened my tone on more of, I don't know is really what it is rather than me saying that thing. Yeah. So like, I hope there's something after we're done here, right? I hope that maybe I was as good of a person as I possibly could. All right, I did the right things. I treated people well, did all this. And I know there's more to that, obviously accepting God into your heart and, you know, he is your savior and like all that. But as I've gone older, I've softened my tone on, you know, I can see it, right? I can see it. And if it gives people power, more power to anybody. Like we went to church this past Easter and where I used to be a little asshole and like fight against my parents about it, I've started to listen more, open the ears a little bit more and kind of see what's going on. And I hope there is, and maybe farther down the line in my journey of life, maybe it comes to me and I feel the calling and all that.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody has, you know, like I call it chaptering. It's like, you know, it's like having a conversation with anybody. And I was like, I always get on to people. I'm like, hey, listen, like they're not at the same point in their life as you, whether it be job, school, whatever it is. It's like, listen, they're in a different chapter. Let them read their chapter. Okay. Just relax. But yeah, like I grew up in Christian school.
Okay.
Like devout atheist by the time I, you know, left there. And it's interesting because that's like a huge thing in Christianity of like these kids, as soon as they get out, you know, immediately like going nuts. Everyone's like the pastor's daughter is always the craziest one.
Yeah, of course.
Like, whatever, you know, because they never really experienced it for themselves. It's like, I'm getting told this. If you don't you know what I mean? Do it this way, whatever. It's like, you're going to hell, all these other things. And it's like, until you get that personal relationship with Jesus, like there's nothing I can tell, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's really odd. And I think about that a lot, not to cut you off, but I think about that a lot, like, teaching the kids, at Sunday school. And it's like, hey, listen, like, your walk isn't my walk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can tell you all these things, and unless you know what I mean, you read it for yourself. Like, we say that in the Tuesday Bible study all the time, because people will just go to church. They'll never read anything outside of church. They'll never question anything or whatever, or they'll question it to the point of, you know what I mean? You just feel the weight of the world, and you're like, is anything real? Like, they taught me this as a kid, and now, you know what I mean? Are they just lying to me? Is this the new Santa? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard, and it's like telling everybody, it's like, hey, your personal walk is your personal walk with Christ.
No, I agree. Yeah. And me and Shannon have different beliefs on that side of things, and that's from her experiences growing up. And it's never been a fight or a problem or anything. We tell each other our opinions and go from there. It's just, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody they shouldn't believe something that I can't give any kind of answer to, proof, or anything like that there is nothing, Right. Because at the end of the day, that's dumb. How are you going to tell someone that's not real if maybe they've had other experience? Miracles happen, there's a lot of things that I shouldn't even be sitting on this chair right now, and that's the main thing. I talk about. Like, you talk about depression, suicide, same here, but grew up that way, very hardcore on that, and Shannon saw that very early in our relationship, and I've worked on it, and we've worked on it together and all that. But it's an interesting conversation, and a lot of times when people bring up the religion on the pod, I always ask about it, just because I try to help deepen my understanding on people's why they do things, why they believe things, because there's a lot of people out there, who are like, oh yeah, I just believe in it because they think it makes them a good person, right?
Which, again, if you read the Bible, it tells you that you're a terrible human being. You know what I mean? There's nothing that we can do to
we're forever sinners at the end of the day,
right? And it's like, you don't deserve it, and you can't buy it.
Exactly.
It's like the rich man, trying to get through the, or the camel trying to go through the eye of the needle. It's like, I can't purchase this.
Yeah. And what were you going to say, Shannon? Sorry, I know we started on a little tangent there.
You're good. I was just going to say, with that part of everyone has their own walk and goes through their own things, I feel like sometimes, all those kids that are growing up in this, system where it's saying, don't do these things, being a kid, you're going to want to do what you're told not to do.
Of course. Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes people just have to have certain experiences to realize, what they're calling, or have a certain something happen. Obviously it's God's plan, to go through certain things, like what he was talking about. My experience when I was 3, I lost my dad, and it was interesting because at the funeral, little backstory, we were cleaning the pool, and he got the blow dryer out, fell in, and I was there with him.
Yeah.
So at the funeral, people were asking me, why didn't you help him? And my response was, Daddy told me to help, but God told me no. And we had never gone to church. My mom looked at me and was like, okay, we have to change. That's not something a 3-year-old's just going to say. So that's kind of what got me into church and everything. And I don't go as often. I think when I moved back to Florida, my senior year is when I kind of got distanced again, because I couldn't find the right church and things like that.
Church thing, obviously. I always tell people, pick one that reads the word. That's it. We don't, if you're praising a pastor, and I've gone to a bunch of churches, because I, kind of church shop too for a little bit. And, I remember leaving there and people being like, oh, did you hear that joke that, so-and-so said? And I'm like, what is, none of that matters.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're either reading the word or not. And I'm like, all these people with book deals and podcasts and conferences and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, man, they're praising you.
There's a big one here in town that
I know
that is very.
That's what he's
Well, funny enough, when I went there when I was young, before I met her, this was when I was in high school, and I have a very firm memory of I was in the congregation and was listening to the word, and I remember this big old sign, or not the sign, the big old projector comes down, and they start putting something up there,
the testimonials.
The testimonials, and for me, I don't care if you're black, white, gay, straight, whatever orientation you are. I don't give a fuck. If you're a good person, that's all I care about. What you do with your body, as long as it's not affecting me, I have nothing to say to you on that. And I remember the sign came down at the church we were talking about, and this girl who said she used to be gay, she's like, I found the word of God, and the church showed me the way. I divorced my wife and everything. I was like, you're kind of losing me there. And to each their own on everybody's opinions on that. It's fine. It's just that struck a chord with me where I'm more of let everybody be who they are, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's hard because it's like,
because I know it is in the Bible, obviously.
Letting people, be who they are. And it's like me, I'm a violent, very addicted, like I did me for a while.
I get you. I get that.
And like, I don't know, it's just tough because it's like we're starting to see like genetically people being more prone to like alcoholism and different stuff like that. And so you're like, man, there's like generational stuff in here, and it's like, you're just not doing you. Yeah. It's like everybody else gets affected by how you live and stuff like that. So it's tough, finding that ground, because we're called to love everybody, and want everybody to come to a living, loving relationship with Christ. And it's like, it's hard finding that balance.
I get that 100%. Yeah. So to switch over into your art, man, I want to make sure we talk about this, right? And this has been an awesome conversation, by the way, so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. So tell us the crochet. How did that start? Or the brochet, I guess I should say. How did that get started? I did the reading of your voyage and everything. I remember you were saying it was with your grandma, right? She got you into it? Nana, yeah. So feel free to let everybody know how you got interested in it.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So when she would come and visit, she would sit out on the porch, smoke a cigarette, drink coffee, and crochet. Nice. And I remember being like, man, that seems pretty cool. And it would be cool, to like interact with your Nana in a different way. And so I remember asking her, I was like, hey, can you teach me how to do this? And like, she was kind of hesitant, obviously, because I don't know, like a young boy asking her if, like, to crochet, like she wasn't like super hesitant about it, but I think she knew like her teaching style was going to be hard, which it was. So I remember she taught me how to chain stitch, and I would like sit in my bed like with a flashlight, like doing it at night, and like bring it to her in the morning, and she would just
pull the strings.
She's like, this isn't good. Oh, like literally in tears.
I just worked so hard on that
all night
on that. But just little basic stuff like that. But then you progress in it, and I think it's with anything. If it was easy when you started, it's probably lame.
It's not worth the pursuit if you're perfect at it from the first try.
Right. And just teaching people how to do it. I tell people all the time, it's frustrating and it's fun, and it's usually free because I usually donate, like the yarn and the hooks and everything else. So I'm like, all right, there's probably 2 out of how many, 15 that are going to actually continue doing it. But I was like, I'll teach you something. If you don't like it, it is what it is. But, for the most part, try to stick with it and see where you can go with it. And so I would make, scarves, hats, everything else. And then obviously you move from the north to the south, and there's not really much you can do with it.
Scarves and hats,
yeah. So it's tough. It was like making stuff, and then you're like, all right, like no one's going to wear this. Or maybe like 2 times out of the year. So I was like, moving back up north, it was great. Started getting into it again, and then moving back down here. So like you read in the Voyage interview, I was hanging out with Ansley from Jackson's Rad, which she would be fantastic to have on here.
I need to reach out because I saw that picture of you with the shirt on. I was like, Jackson's Rad, that's right. I forgot of it. Oh, do you? Okay, that's sick.
Yeah, so we were drunk out at the bar and went to Waffle House.
Love it.
And so she initially wanted, like this 1-year anniversary party for Jackson's Rad. And I'm like, man, I would really love to do like something artistic for that, something with crochet or whatever. And hadn't even thought about like large scale stuff, like nothing, so there was this thing called yarn bombing where it's almost like, spray painting with crochet. So you like crochet it all out, and then you put it up on a fence or glue it to a wall or whatever. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And so they had a fence outside. It was initially supposed to be at Intuition. So when they were doing like the construction, kind of that sidewalk right there. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to crochet out the letters, put them up there. So when people walk in, they have something to take a picture in front of and then walk into the bar. And so the location ended up getting changed. So, you know, like my crazed out mind at the time, I was like, wait, I was like, what if I replace the fence with like chicken wire? And you know what I mean? I'm like figuring it out in my mind. I was like, I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll figure it out. So it got changed. It went to, what is that? They have one of them in Riverside. Is it
Hoptingers?
Hoptinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Hoptingers, by the way. Good food.
So I ended up like crocheting the J, and I'm like, dude, this is going to be real big. And I'm like, I can't really go back now, because if I go back, I won't be able to like finish it in time. And so I ended up crocheting it all out. Ended up being 10 feet by 9 feet, just huge.
That's massive, yeah.
And I ended up having it to where it folded, and then it had locks in the back.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, like, you know, it was my first time doing it. I don't know how to freaking lock this thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to build, you know what I mean? You have to like stretch out the fencing. Like, I don't know anything about chicken coops or chicken wire or whatever. And so, you know, those like bathroom locks that are like this big?
Yeah.
And so I had like 2 of those on there.
Okay.
And I'm like, someone's going to get hit in the head and die. So we finally get it up. It's on the 2nd floor. Finally get it through there, prop it up. And it's like, it's literally, it's standing on faith alone.
Hey, that's all that matters.
I was just like kind of watching it. Like, like this thing could just fall at any second.
Hoping to dream sometimes, man.
But yeah, it was great. So I would like, you know, just take it around to anytime she had a party for Jax's Rad. We did like a Halloween party or a Christmas party, and then one out at like a rock gym, like one of those rock climbing places. So it was pretty neat because I got to, you know, obviously get to know her better, and then a lot of people that were coming through the art scene.
That's pretty sweet.
So, yeah.
The art scene here in Jacksonville, man, is exploded. It's
great. And I tell people a lot, it's like, you know, people are like, I want to move to New York and I want to move to other places. So I ended up doing a piece for the Jacksonville Library. So I did a piece for Yelp, and they have like this huge, I think it was around Halloween. Yeah. Because we were dressed up. And so the curator for the library, Shauna Brooks, saw my piece, and she goes, hey, we're doing you know, this exhibit, like, do you want to be in it? And I'm like, yeah, like, what is it? And this is like the 2nd project I had ever done, like, especially like large scale. And she's like, it's in a couple months. Like, are you going to be able to do it? And I'm like, well, I'll just scrap this and then just work over this project. But it was fantastic, like, seeing that side of it, just like, you know, that art scene that's, hey, they'll just pick you up, like, if they need somebody in there, so you get to see a whole bunch of different stuff, and like it just expands your way of doing things.
Of course. But
in that time, they had like a Q&A, and everybody on that stupid panel was like, you know, the art scene in Orlando and St. Pete and New York and LA and all this other stuff, and I just wanted to be like, go back.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, it was so great. Go back.
Yeah. Jacksonville's scene is way better.
Part of, you know what I mean? Like the foundation, you know what I mean? You get to be a part of like the building of this community. And I'm like, if you just want to be, go back into that scene, if it was just the greatest thing you've ever been a part of. And
yeah. Because if Jacksonville's just a stepping stone to you while you're here.
Right. And like a lot of these people, the people that were saying it, their art was, you know, I'm not going to say that people's art is trash, but like it just, in that genre and what they did, it was just like not very impressive.
Gotcha.
And, you know, because everybody has a different eye for everything.
Of course.
You know, and there's a lane for everybody for sure. But yeah, if you're going to like downplay the community and do what you do, it's like at least be semi-proficient at it.
No, I agree with you, man. And we've had artists on here, and I've also gone to like art critiques or art little shows, because I'm not personally artistic when it comes to the drawing sense or, you know, the making something. This is my art right here, the conversation, right? And it's interesting to sit back and listen to other artists sit down, talk to each other. There was one over at the Safe House. I don't know if you ever heard of that. it was an art space that we were friends with some of the creators of it, and they did a whole night where everybody got to bring their art. They got to talk about like what they were feeling, what they thought, why they created it. And then you had other bigger artists or people who are more in depth in the field right now, right? They've been doing this for a little while. And it was cool to see them be like, this is what I see whenever, I'm looking at your art. This is how I feel about it. And it's really cool to hear people like, hey, how do I blend this? Or maybe what kind of medium should I use? Yeah. And I was just in the back room because I had nothing to say. And I was just sitting there listening. It was just very, very cool. There was like 30, 40 people in there. It was like, that's actually where I met Dr. Dom and Clea was over there. Yeah, they did it was kind of like almost a test run of Wind Down Wednesday over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this was like 3-4 years ago. And I got to meet, and it was John Hawkins, actually the guy who makes this painting right here. Nice. Shout out to John, by the way. He's over in Texas now. But he invited me because he was the host of it. So I got to sit back there and just listen to people, and just because it may be not something I do, I still find it interesting because like for what you do, to have something in your mind, create it and bring it to literally a physical form, it's crazy. It's very cool to see those kinds of talents, like something I can't do myself. To see what other people can do, it's amazing. And to help show Jacksonville get better and make it pretty, there's actually a world record holder here in Jacksonville. His name's Jason Tetlak. He's a muralist here in Jacksonville. And if you've driven downtown, like down one of the main highways.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're fine. He does a bunch of murals, and his world record holding mural is the one of the Beastie Boys as 3D. So when you wear the red and blue glasses, it looks like they're moving and stuff. Yeah. Super nice guy. Had him on here.
Did he have one out in like Murray Hill?
Yes, exactly.
I follow him.
Yeah, very, very cool guys. But no, just the amount of artists here that do everything under the sun, including yourself. Right. It's amazing to see our city just pop up. And now they're investing in the art districts here in Jacksonville. There's about to be a whole new scene. And then, what's her name? Yaya Cardona. She's like with Fix Shacks now. Like they're building up a whole new center to have artists come in there, and it's just nice to see them put money towards that because there are a lot of artists other than just music or all that stuff. There's people who want to create stuff and give them that platform.
And that's why I felt just so sick like when those people were just sitting up there and saying this, and I'm just like, man, because I know that they're not going to be a part of anything. You know what I mean? And, like, they're not going to put in the time and effort to, like, get to know other artists and help other artists or whatever. It's all about them. And then it's like, they have pieces that they kind of really won't tell you what they're about. You know what I mean? It's a lot of the people that it's, like, untitled.
Yeah.
This is the lamest
The whole mysterious thing. I don't get it.
It's like you have a craft, you have something in your head, and you can't even explain that.
Yeah. No, there's a mix of people, and I mean, there's even people who make sunglasses. I'm sure you've probably heard of Time and Place. You heard of them?
Yeah, I just did a photo shoot with their glasses.
Oh, did you? Nice, yeah.
So I met him out at a gallery downtown, and he's a cool cat.
Yeah, he came here when he first moved to Jacksonville. Yeah, he was on here. Yeah, it's the one interview where his face is blurred because he's big on not showing who he is.
Yeah,
that's like his whole thing. But great dude, and he had a good backstory as well. He talked about sobriety and all that stuff as well.
That's basically what we talked about. But yeah, man, he's such a cool cat. I actually texted him to bring out some sunglasses for that shoot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so it was me, my buddy Nino was the one that was the photographer, and so luckily he had a bunch of glasses. I just ordered a pair, and then because I was like, dude, we got my flamethrower. We're going to be out on my brother's property.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I was about to ask as well. Are you a gun enthusiast yourself, by the way?
Yeah,
Firearm, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw a bunch of pictures. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, I don't shoot quite as often as I should, but I think I have maybe 6.
She's had her first range session the other day.
Yeah. What'd you guys shoot?
What?
Yeah.
9mm Smith. It was a Smith & Wesson equalizer.
Okay.
Yeah. So with stuff going on, I told her, I was like, maybe a good idea for you to,
That's a fantastic idea. I mean, like, I truly believe that, concealed is for women.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I try to tell her like all the time, I'm like, I know you're tough. I feel you. I get you. Yeah. But if
men are
well, just imagine someone like our size, right? Like I'm not big and scary in any way, shape, or form, but if I came up from behind you, grabbed you, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Shoot me.
Yeah, like, and I'm very much, shoot first, ask questions later on that stuff. If anybody's attacking you, walks up to your car, you got anything going on, obviously don't go around just fucking people up. But in today's world, things happen such a split second.
Yeah,
such a split second.
That it was, so I never got my concealed because I feel like you should have concealed wherever you go. But they were like, Florida is becoming the the next state to get
Constitutional carry.
Right. Yep. And we were like the 28th state.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew that. They were like, Florida's crazy. Wow, how could they do this? And I was like, no, they've done this 27 times.
Yeah. It's
I go, it's fine. And I go, like the first, like women should have been already able to carry whenever they wanted to.
Yeah.
I thought that was just nuts. So
I know, I'm right there with you. Especially where you come from, New York. I know it's crazy hard to get a firearm up there.
Hard. So our babysitter growing up, one of our babysitters, so he went to get his concealed weapons, and he was enlisting in the Marines. So you had to have 5 references. He got, I think, a judge, 2 people that worked for the state of New York, a pastor, and I think a family friend.
Wow.
And still couldn't get it. So it took over a year, and then the judge changed out, and he was sending handwritten letters, like month after month after month after month. And it took him over a year. The judge got changed out, and finally that judge gave it to him. And he was like, at that point, he was like in the Marines. What?
If I'm fighting for our country, I should be able to, I already have a gun over there. So like, what are we doing here?
That was the whole point of militia, is that like you should have, you know what I mean? The younger men like should have weapons to be able to, defend their country.
Country.
I don't know if it's true, but they talked about it like with World War II. How the Japanese didn't want to come mainland because, of an armed population. And it's like, man, this is the only thing that keeps governments in check.
And we literally have a right.
The only thing.
Yeah, because you got to fight against a tyrannical government. It's literally written in. And I think, when I was younger, I wasn't the biggest fan of guns. As you get older, it's a tool. That's the big thing I try to tell people is like, I hope to God that never in my day, in my life, that I would ever have to do that to someone.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
But if it did come down to it, it's one of those things, better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it, because, things happen. It just does. And I know a lot of people like to think we live in this fairy tale world, everything's safe and everything. It's safe until it's not. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And I mean, look what's going on in schools and all these other things right now. It's just, it's a world where...
And the crazy thing is, it's like they took guns out of schools.
Exactly. Exactly. Like the armed police officers and everything. Yeah.
Well, even gun safety class.
Oh, yeah, which is wild. That is a very wild thing.
So it's just, it's crazy.
It is, man.
But yeah, we were always pretty huge on guns. Like we have a family photo when I was young, and we all have guns.
That's sick. That's so sick.
Like a legit family photo. And so we've always been like really big into them. So I have like an AR that I bought off of a buddy, and then I have a bullpup like assault shotgun. I ended up buying like a 19-round magazine for it.
Oh, sweet.
Then I have like a 20 gauge Mossberg. I have a Glock 17. And then I bought a conversion kit for it, so you can turn it into a little carbine.
Oh, really?
And put a red dot on it.
That's
and
badass.
I have a PS90,
so
a civilian version of the P90. Obviously, you play Call of Duty enough, you're going to buy one of the guns in there. And so I was like, I want this one.
That's pretty sick.
And then ended up getting that flamethrower a few years back.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's so badass.
So people were like, how do you get... Yeah. And so I almost bought one. There's like this little... smaller one. It's like almost like the pistol version of like a flamethrower. And I'm looking at this thing at work. I go, gosh. I was like, when's payday?
when's that paycheck?
You got another week, right?
I might get 2 of these.
No, yeah. No.
Yeah, that was like when I was drinking just super heavy, and I was looking up flamethrowers. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of little boys want those as a kid.
Of course.
They just see an army movie or whatever.
Or as you say, like Call of Duty and stuff, man.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, this looks crazy. And then you find out that they're legal. And then you're like, I thought I would have to commit a crime to get one of these. And I was like, I can just get one. And so I was super, super drunk. And Black Friday rolled around, and the flamethrower company texted me.
What?
And I go, yes.
Yes, I want it.
I go, I will buy it. And that's a great deal. Because, you just shop around for a bunch of different ones, and you're just like, all right, I don't know.
I love it. I love it, man.
You caught me in my weakest moment.
You knew I wanted it. I'm taking it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's so great. But we shot it for the first time at Thanksgiving, and had like my little nieces and nephews get on that thing. It was sweet.
That's sick, man. Yeah. I love it.
So it was great being able to like have art that had to do with fire. And then I was like, let's get this flamethrower going, get some photos.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, this has been an awesome conversation. We definitely have to do a part 2 on this.
Yeah.
We gotta dive a lot deeper because there's so much stuff with your art that I know from just talking to you at work and we didn't get to that we definitely need to cover.
Yeah.
Say we're already an hour 15 in.
We will do the gift portion though.
Of course.
I got a couple things that I want to give you guys.
Go right ahead, Shan. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna put the charger in the camera real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
You want the whole bag?
Yes.
So one thing that I did want to get to, you do sell crochet pieces, right?
I do. So I've been doing a different style of crochet for about a year. So initially I found this woman on Instagram that makes lampshades.
Oh, cool.
And so she would do different lampshades, and then she would use glue and water to cure the crochet. So she would blow up a balloon, cover it in glue and water, and then pop it after like 2 or 3 days, and then it would stay hard on there. And then you could just string a light inside and then just have it.
That's pretty sick.
That is
And I'm
really
like,
sweet.
man, that is such a good idea. So I was like, there has to be a way to do this, not more artistically, because she's a fantastic artist, but I was like, there has to be something that you could be able to put on a wall, frame it, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And other people have done it like through freehand crochet and then glued it on canvas and stuff like that. But I was like, there has to be something you can kind of bring it more towards this way and be able to paint it.
Like 4D.
Yeah. So a lot of trial and error, just like figuring out what sticks and, you know what I mean, like getting the little tricks like fabric shaving the things before you start to mold them and like just different stuff like that. So I have a couple things for you. So initially, I got these roses.
That's cute.
How cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is going to be actually a track that I'm going to make. It's called Rose to Repentance, which is going to be great.
That's cool.
But it was, I had this idea of doing it because I remember making a whole bunch of them. This was when I was just like, super drunk, super high. And everybody always loved them. So I would make the roses anytime when I was like kind of able to do it. It's weird. Like people are able to play a guitar on heroin, but you can't crochet and drink.
Really?
No, they just
Takes a lot of focus.
Everything looks like trash, and so
you don't have the fine eye with that current moment. You're just like going.
Yeah, and I don't know, you just can't do it. So
That's beautiful.
it's great that being sober has just opened my mind to being able to actually finish the works of art that like I have in my head. So all the ideas, I'm like, oh, I can do that tomorrow. Because I'm not going to be in bed till this time and have to grab another bottle by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
No, that's beautiful.
I gotta add this with my Lego roses.
so I got a medium. I think hopefully it will fit. This one is going to be the extra large.
Hey, that's sick.
For you, sir.
I appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much.
So we can, you can take that off,
Hauser
too.
helped
I'll get down
you
there.
create these designs, right?
Yeah. So Hauser is the one that created this logo.
He's a killer artist,
He
man.
is
I swear.
so good.
I love the skull.
So his grandfather gave him this book. I don't know if it wasn't like a Mason's book
Okay.
or maybe like, I can't remember. It was one of those weird fraternities.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
So I initially
Thank you, sir. That's sick.
was getting, some shirts and stuff, like logos made for him. And he's like, hey, man, I got this book. And so he made 3 logos, and it's off of imagery from that book.
Okay.
And I was hesitant to even use the imagery, but I'm like, I think it's distant enough
Yeah.
to where these things aren't going to be cursed.
It's not going to be cursed.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So,
It's a really neat design, the way he did the head and everything.
yeah,
I love like
fantastic.
the tie-dye on this as well. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
So these are all I painted
I love that.
That's
these,
sick.
and so I wanted to get one of each. So
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate it.
yeah, so these are the pieces that go with it.
That's awesome.
And then I have
Show that off too for everybody watching at home.
you.
Check this
Yeah.
out.
So my initial thought was doing like a 6x6 or a 7x7, 8x8 with every clothing thing, because I want to get more into the clothing side of it. And that's what House is helping me out with doing too. But having it to where you have that, you have the vision for it, you have the kind of the thinking around it, and then you're able to put something on your wall as well. So you have like wearable art as well as the crochet kind of side that goes with it.
Yeah.
So I end up getting custom stitch markers made off of Etsy too. So these are something that you put on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I usually put it like right under where,
You are so artistic.
That's
I
what
could
I'm
never think
saying.
of these things.
yeah.
Here, I'm going to clear up some more space on the camera real quick. I got more questions. We got time.
We're going to pause the show.
I still got 20 minutes left on this time bar. We got time.
So it's a pin. Oh, you're doing that. All right, back at it.
Yeah. So I got these
back.
custom 904 stitch markers. So stitch markers go in, if you were going to start a row, stop it, you know what I mean? Whatever. Or when you're working a certain way, you got to count the stitches that are in there. So you put a stitch marker there. You're like, this row's 5, this row's 10. So the lady on Etsy had ones that were like 1 through 10, 20 through 50 or whatever. So I was like, hey, can you put 904 on those and just get me some teal?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah.
That's so
That
sick.
is awesome.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the
I was
gifts.
not expecting this
No,
at all.
much appreciated, man. This is awesome.
One thing that I love, I'm so glad that you brought these designs out, because I remember the story you had told me about work, where, the water and what you thought about,
Yeah.
if you want to explain that.
Yeah, so this one is the water, and so I had like this vision of, and here's some stickers that go with it as well. There you go, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We will trade stickers with you, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, so on here, this is for that one, and it says, the surface of the water was mesmerizing. In reality, I was drowning. So I had this kind of vision of me being in like a pool of water and looking up at the surface and having it look it's like almost like you kind of just get distracted by something so beautiful, and you've seen the water and everything else, but you're like, oh wait, I can't breathe. Like I'm in very, very deep water. And I had that like feeling. I'm like, man, this is like how I was living. It was just very surface level, just not like I was killing myself, and I was like, no, it's fine, because on the outside, it looks fantastic. Like, look at this, look what I'm doing here. Look what I'm doing there. And I was just never letting the water out. I was just sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's like taking that and being able to puncture holes in that, getting sober, going back to church, like building relationships that I haven't had. I mean, like I sacrificed so much, not willingly, of time with my family, time with my friends, just turning into a complete monster. And I was like, all right, it's time to poke some holes in this thing. So
Thank you.
yeah. And there's a verse that goes with it. I didn't know where to put the verse, because people think that this is the verse.
Your signature?
No, people think that like that.
Oh, the writing.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know.
I get you.
So this one is spit to ash, breath to smoke, empathy to embers, for a fire he built to kindle kindness.
Love it, man.
So that one was just, having to do with the power of words and like, honestly just seeing your tongue as like it's fire.
Very much is.
And it's like you can either use that to spark somebody's enthusiasm, spark somebody's art, somebody's creativity and love in somebody's heart, or you can use it to absolutely destroy them.
Very true.
And so that was
That's beautiful, man.
As they
thinking
say,
behind that.
speak before you think.
yeah.
Well, and that hits home.
Or think before you speak. I had that backwards.
Yeah.
But that hits for me as well, is because Shannon knows this as well. I had to teach myself to not say the first thing. I'm brutally honest, and that's something I had to teach myself to hold back.
You're talking about to a New Yorker.
Yeah. Well, even here, like I'm generally a very jovial, happy kind of guy. But if you ask me my opinion, I'm very straightforward, and I had to teach myself like, hey, like before you just put that out, because as you said, that could tear someone down. You learn to, maybe just because you don't think it's the most beautiful thing or whatever it is, or maybe someone doesn't look good in that or whatever it is.
Right.
take the time to think about what you're doing to that person, because I also try to live like my life as, you know, treat people as you want to be treated, right?
Right.
Because as you said,
rule.
the world's hard, man. Like,
It
and
is.
you brought up like training the guys that I work with, right? Like, I see these guys as young me's. That's the thing I've tried to put myself in. It's like, you know, they're young. Remember what you were like at 21 years old, at 20 years old, you know? I was an idiot. I'm still an idiot, but I've just had a little bit more life experience that's helped kind of curve that a little bit more. And it really is a very true thing, man. The words you speak, the words you talk to yourself, they make you feel something. Imagine what that person that you may not even know, how that makes them feel. And it's a very true statement, man. No, so I think this is very powerful and very beautiful, by the way, man. I appreciate. Thank you so much for the gifts, by the way. These are going to be going up on the studio.
Good.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate that.
That was actually the one thing I wanted to get to, is that you do write these handwritten notes that go with your art pieces.
Yeah.
This will be Shannon, we'll put these up in the house.
I will.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was talking to a friend, and I was like, listen, man, like, I received this vision to do something, you know, and if no one buys it, I have to be okay with that. I was given it, I'm going to put it out to the world, and, you know, if it changes one person, that's fantastic, you know, and I've had people cry with, you know what I mean? It was just like so beautiful, like having that sense of vulnerability, being able to share that with somebody. And it's again, going back to, if I'm sober and I'm not willing to talk about it, you know, what's the point? It's like I'm just keeping a gift inside and not being able to spread it with anybody.
It's very true.
And so another thing, like, if anybody out there is struggling with addiction, 100% hit me up on Instagram. I will give you my personal phone number. I will talk to you whenever you need to get through it. I mean, this, again, life is hard, life is tough, and, you know, we need a sense of community to be able to lift us up and get us through things. You know, I have art, you might have something different, you know, like this podcast, a beautiful podcast with your wife. You know what I mean? That's something so special, and I feel like you guys do a great job of being able to spread that out.
I appreciate it, man. It's hard, and another thing that intrigues me is like the sobriety thing. Like, we've been dealing with family members who are struggling with it at the current moment, and Shannon knows the backstory and all that, and it's hard because you know you love someone so much, and you have to set boundaries with them because of drinking, drug use, all that kind of stuff, and still deal with this to this day. And sometimes it's a parent, sometimes it's a brother, sometimes it's a cousin, sometimes it's your friend, man, and it's hard to watch. And what does sobriety mean to you? What does that mean for your life and you as a person?
Yeah, I mean, it's just made it to where it's not about me and what I want anymore. Again, it's humbling yourself, taking those things out to where I can, you know, help other people, and like getting over this. It's like, you know, the Bible says it's like God won't tempt you, but he'll test you. But it's being able to take that and making it into something beautiful. It's like, no, I was addicted to drugs and alcohol because I wanted to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to treat people. You know what I mean? It's just a whole thing. So it's taking a step back from yourself, and that's what, you know, sobriety gives you. It gives you a clear mind. You know, just, again, being kicked out of every single bar in Jacksonville multiple times, like getting arrested. I was arrested, thrown in Duval County in 2017. Like, it didn't matter. It was just what I wanted to do. It was like, oh, I'm going to quit drinking. You know what I mean? And so you're not thinking at a realistic level. You know, as soon as anything got hard, I was doing it. And then I was doing it again. Like, drinking has gotten to the point where just socially, it's like you do it when you're happy, and then you do it when you're sad, and then you do it to pass time during the day, and then you do, you know what I mean? So it's just like a nonstop, and you just get into that thing. And it was just so brutal, like, being in that arena for so long, because you just have so many friends die, and, you know, everything in your life just starts fading away, and you're like, is this... I had a friend pass away, and they put up his name and everything at the bar marquee at Ritz. And I go, if I die tomorrow, is this what my life is going to be boiled down to? Everyone's going to have a beer in my honor and then go home? Yeah. I go, this can't be it.
There's more to it. There's more to life, man.
Can't be it. And that was, you know, my friend Trey, who I went to 1122 with.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
You know? And so it's like, hey, this touches everybody, whether you're a person in the congregation, it's like teacher, lawyer, whatever it is. And it's like, hey, man, you know, there is support, and I'm there for you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's a very true statement, man. That's something like to the person I'm talking about when it comes to the drug and alcohol side, man. That's something I deal with and I talk about a lot, and it's crazy when it's someone older than you, right? You know, it's someone that's supposed to be like the leader, and it's rough. It very much is, and that's actually kind of steered my way. As Shannon knows, Monday through Friday, I don't drink. You know, I mean, I'm social when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I'm very much I watch myself thoroughly because I'm like, hey, do you feel like I'm doing something weird? Am I being like too much, too little, to whatever it is? And, you know, there's also just everybody's different, right? It hits everybody differently, whether you can handle it. And at the end of the day, it is still just poison that we're putting in our bodies.
It really
is. Doesn't serve us in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like a lot of people are very afraid to sit with their feelings. And it's a scary thing. And talking to someone who's gone to therapy myself and was that way as well. But to be honest with you, man, through talking through it, through making your way through it, and, you know, being around other people who have been that, it shows that you're not alone. And I think that's the biggest thing that I feel like a lot of people who are going through that sickness, that illness, because that's what it is. It really is an illness. Yeah. And going through it and seeing that you're not alone is one of the biggest things that helps other people.
For sure.
Because, you know, a lot of people feel like, oh, I have a problem. It's only me. It's my fault. It's no one else. It's just me here. Right. When at the end of the day, we all struggle in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And it's a lot of it is, you know, people thinking it's like, but my addiction's different. You know, it's like, well, how deep do you got to get, man? It's like we were having a friend die every 3 months.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, well, he didn't think he was as bad as us. So, you know what I mean?
Can always get you. Never know.
Yeah. It's rough, but you just don't see it while you're in there, you know, and it's tough. So if you get, you know, your head above water for that second, take the time to reach out to somebody, because, you know, life is short, and it's going to be even shorter if you get too far deep.
I agree, man. And I think that's a beautiful sentiment to put out there to the world, because even though, like I said, I'm not a completely sober person, so far for me to sit here and preach on anything like that, but it's good to take that power, to take that time and, you know, analyze yourself on that. And, you know, some people think it's unfair that they can't handle it, but other people can, and vice versa on that.
And that's another thing, just humbling yourself. It's like, hey, man, like, yeah, other people can drink and not do what you do.
Exactly. And
you can't.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and recognizing.
Yeah, take the handle on it, man. But I think it's a beautiful way of doing that. And if you don't mind sharing to the people, what did you go to? Were you like AA, or was it more of you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, hey, I'm done with this?
Yeah, so I ended up being on a 3 or 4 day bender, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave home. I didn't tell anybody I was leaving, and I was just going to find a nice bridge to just end it.
I get you.
I was, you know, you try to beat it enough times and you can't do it, and you just get to the point where you can't see your life outside of alcohol and drugs. You're like, this is who I am. I couldn't remember the last time where I didn't do it.
I get you.
So you're like, this is my whole life. This is my whole friend group. This is my whole existence. You know what I mean? And so, like, driving down south, I was like, man, this just can't be it. You know? And you start thinking about all the friends that passed, and you're like, I can't go out like that. You know? So I ended up sleeping in my car for like a week, just driving up and down the East Coast, just sitting at every rest stop, you know, praying and everything else. And I'm just like, God, like, I need some help. You got to take this off me. And I grew up with a sleep condition, so I have like sleep paralysis and night terrors.
Ooh, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So, you know, I started abusing like drugs and alcohol really hard because like that was the only thing that took away the dreams.
I get you.
So I was like, you know, and that was one of the things too, and it's really odd because I stopped believing in God because that didn't go away when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was like, if you can't even take away this, if I can't even sleep, like I've had one good dream in my entire life, and it was 3 days ago. So when people talked about being at school and they're like, oh, I'm so tired, I can't wait to go back to bed, I go, that's my nightmare.
I get you.
I go, that's the worst. That's the last place I want to be right now, is at my house and in my bed. That's hell for me. And so driving up and down the East Coast, everybody's messaging me or whatever, and I'm like, I need a complete reset.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my parents I was leaving. I didn't tell my mom, like, nothing. None of my siblings. I left work. I didn't tell my attorney. I didn't tell anybody at work. They were sending out emails asking me where I was. They were bringing in people to the office asking where the last time they saw me. And so I ended up coming back home. And, I finally, messaged my mom, everything, telling her, it was like, hey, because I was a missing person. I was missing person 138441. So I was like, gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, hey, tell the police to stop looking for me. You know what I mean? I'm going to be back home in a couple days. And she's like, come home now. And I was like, no, I need to, one, I'm sweating it all out. I'm going through withdrawals, which were,
I'm sure,
just insane. I mean, I was over a bottle a day of alcohol and, drugs every single day. And so I came back home, and our HR representative had mentioned a while back that her husband was a pastor. And so I was like, so I wrote in her last name, put it into Google, and then just put pastor next to it and figured out what church he went to. And I showed up at that church, a couple weeks after that. And didn't even tell her I was coming. She's just like, oh my gosh, you're alive. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I need help. You know what I mean? I need community. I didn't know anybody else except for her. I didn't even remember meeting the pastor, her husband, at a charity event because I was so drunk and high.
Mm.
I'd met him before.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we already met. And I go,
did we?
what?
Yeah.
And so that's how bad it had gotten. And so, you know what I mean? Just staying in the Word and just getting to church filling your time with positive things and getting that living, loving relationship. It's there's nothing that pastor could do to me personally that would have me lose my faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, man.
And it's getting all that anxiety, I haven't had sleep paralysis or night terrors since.
Good for you, man.
And I'm waking up every single morning and I'm like, bro, living on borrowed time.
I love it, man.
Just with just a zeal for life,
I think that's one of the most beautiful stories I've heard in a while, man. And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm no way cutting you off in any way, shape, or form, man. But I think that's going to be, if you guys got anything out of the podcast, obviously the art's beautiful and everything, but that story right there, man, congratulations to yourself, man. And
I appreciate it.
I know it's a day to day, obviously. I know it's not just
one day at a time, man.
Exactly, man. It's just one step at a time, one day at a time. And I look forward to having you back on, man. This has been an awesome story.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Seriously, what you guys do is beautiful.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Well, for obviously everything we just talked about, please let everybody know where they can continue to follow along with your journey on everything that you have going here. If they want to reach out to you, any of that stuff, please let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, so follow me on Instagram, Bold City Brochet. That's pretty much the only platform that I really use. Do not hesitate to reach out if you're going through literally anything. I am completely open book on things that I've gone through, things that I've experienced, things that I've done to other people have done to me. Don't wait. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, Bold City Brochet on Instagram. And thank you guys so much.
Hell yeah, man. Guys, make sure you guys go give him a follow on the social media. There will definitely be a part 2 on this conversation here. Had an amazing conversation. While you guys are in the liking and following and subscribing mood, make sure you give us a like, a follow, a subscribe at Who Are You Pod from everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Also, if you guys are interested in being on the show, like we had Jefferson here today, make sure you reach out to us on the social media or hit us up in the email, whoareyoupod@yahoo.com, and maybe we'll have a future episode. But thank you so much for your time today, my man. Look forward to more of it. Yeah. And we will see you guys next week.